Ken Trahan with Lenny Van Gilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. It was a very good Sunday for the New Orleans Saints in more ways than one. First and foremost, they played their best game yet, whipping Arizona 31-7. This was a Cardinals team that had come in averaging 24.5 points per game. They scored on the opening drive. They did not score again. The Saints sacked Carson Palmer 4 times, intercepted him twice, and played outstanding defense. And then their offense found its footing and played more like the version we're used to seeing in the second half. Lenny, this was a total team effort. This was a really good performance, in particular in the second half.
Absolutely. You know, game balls all the way around. It was, as you said, the most complete effort we've seen from this team this year. It was nice to be able to sit there and watch a game in the fourth quarter and not have it be a nail-biting life or death type of situation. So it's, that's certainly encouraging. And a team that's 3-0 and suddenly finds itself 2 games to the good in the NFC South just 3 weeks into the season. That's even more encouraging, perhaps.
That's why I said it was a very good Sunday in more ways than one, because not only are they 2 games clear in their own division, but you had AFC teams beating NFC teams all over the place yesterday, which helps the Saints across the board. So they are 3-0 for the first time since 2009, and everybody wants to draw the analogy, and I understand that, Lenny. At this point, this offense isn't what it was in 2009 yet, but this defense is probably better.
I would say so at this point. You're right. It's not putting up the video game type numbers that we saw in 2009, but it's gotten the job done when it's needed to get the job done. Late in the Tampa Bay game, on down the line, it's been an offensive. When it's needed to deliver, it has delivered, and you figure it's only going to continue to get better. Well, unless, of course, someone out there finds an answer for how to stop Jimmy Graham, because no one's done it the last 2 weeks.
And ESPN gets a blockbuster and 2 undefeated teams, the Saints in Miami, a week from Monday night. So look forward to that. It should be fun. As for the LSU Tigers, they hold steady at number 6 in the polls after beating Auburn 35-21. For the better part of 2 to 2.5 quarters, they look like an elite team, maybe a number 1 team, and then not so much later in the game, Lenny. I thought they took their foot off the pedal a little bit on offense, and you can't do that against fast break teams like Auburn, who, by the way, have some talent and are well coached and figure to get better under Gus Malzahn.
Absolutely. And, you're right. For the better part of, almost 3 quarters, that was a really good-looking LSU team out there. Jeremy Hill is the SEC Offensive Player of the Week. No surprise with the effort that he had on Saturday night. But you've got to be able to just, maintain the pressure on the throttle, so to speak, and put teams away like that and not let them, hang around. And it gets a lot tougher this week when you go between the hedges. And I guess that Mettenberger's mom is kind of divided a little bit, her employer against her son, but she's got the week off. Good for her.
Yeah, that was a good move by Mark Richt, who, by the way, is a class act. Very good performance by Jarvis Landry again. Zach Mettenberger was very good again against Auburn, and Jeremy Hill was terrific. So now this defense needs to be more consistent, and LSU needs to keep the pressure on, because this figures to be a game where you're going to have to score in the 30s to win.
I think so. Georgia has been so-so on defense, very good on offense. Aaron Murray is an outstanding player, and it should be a fun game to watch. If LSU can continue to perform on offense as they have the first 4 weeks, it's got the potential to shoot out. Who would have thought here, at this point of the season, we'd be talking about the Saints defense and LSU's offense? It's crazy how that happens.
Which, of course, points to the hires that both teams made with Cam Cameron and Rob Ryan. So far, they look like aces. As for Tulane, it was a very uninspiring performance at Syracuse. Special teams were horrendous. Not bad, not awful, horrendous. Lenny, how do you explain it? 2 punts blocked, leads of 14 points. Field goal blocked, kills a guy's 26 made streak, who's the best in the country, unfortunately. Muff another punt. I mean, you don't even give yourself a chance.
Those 4 plays you mentioned, 24 points right there. Three short drive, or not, well, 3 points off the board, and then 3 short drives off the 2 block punts and the muff punt. So, you take those 24 points away, that's a respectable game right there. Tulane may not have won the game, but it would have been a lot better looking than 52-17.
And here's my point. They've had these issues. They had them under Chris Selfo late in his tenure. They had them throughout Bob Toledo's tenure. and they have them now. But here's the difference. You can make the argument that it's all about having athletes on special teams, but this has nothing to do with athletes. This is protection. We're not talking about kick returns. We're talking about kick protection. And these kind of breakdowns should not happen.
No, they shouldn't. And was it scheme? Was it players? Exactly what was, and I'm sure we'll find out here in the coming days. But you're right; those types of things should not happen. Does it come back to depth or whatever it is, and having to use players in in roles perhaps they're not comfortable with? They just changed deep snappers. Did that have anything to do with it? Yeah, again, it's a work in progress. We are only 4 games into the college football season. And Tulane's got a chance to right the ship. Another chance here coming up Saturday in Monroe.
High school football, we had another first NBC Prep Football Showcase game with Curtis looking very good against East St. John, and of course that will continue on.
Yeah, and we will have a game this week, but first let me tell you, we talk about special teams. John Curtis does it better than anyone else in this area, and you saw it in the game that aired Saturday on WHNO, Friday Night Live on Sports NOLA. East St. John cut the deficit to a touchdown, kicked off, bang, Terrence Alexander goes 94 yards for a touchdown. They are so disciplined on special teams, more so than anyone else that we see in this area. And that's, the coaches, it may be coach speak, but it's a third of the football game. It really is. And Curtis does that better than anyone else. So coming up this weekend, De La Salle Thomas Jefferson from Hoss Memphis. We'll have it live Friday night on sportsnola.com. You can watch it Saturday at noon on WHNO TV 20.
Certainly look forward to it. And, of course, the New Orleans Quarterback Club, noon on Monday at the Cannery, 3803 Toulouse Street. Tulane, LSU Saints, and prep speakers each and every week. Sports NOLA TV, Monday night at 6 p.m. Ricky Jackson, Torrance Small, Brian Alley Walsh, and I from Moe's Pizza on Avenue H in West Wego. And, of course, Prep Recruiting Insider, the latest, and LSU got a big commitment from a freshman in Dylan Moses.
Wow, getting commitments from freshmen. It's unbelievable. But that was the big recruiting news of the weekend. And, let's see. That's a long way from now. We're talking about, the fall of 2017 before he would enroll. Any number of things can change between now and then. So
Rowan Renee will be all over that. And, of course, the John Forcade Show with Mike Detillier, too, is part of our sports block each and every week starting at 6 p.m. here on WHNO Channel 20 and through sportsnola.com. Lenny, as always, a pleasure. Have a great week.
All right, we'll see you later this week.
That's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review brought to you by First NBC Bank. 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank. For Lenny, I'm Kenny. Have a great week and God bless.